have been shot. It is the Ides of March right now. And if you were following me last October, after we had the bomb scare in the United States, I pointed out the riddle with the Austin bombing and the October bomb scares. The Austin bomber was Mark Anthony, and the October bomber was Caesar Sayoc. And Mark Anthony, Caesar, it makes you think of the death of Caesar and the Ides of March. And here we are on the Ides of March, March 15th. What we said then was remember this date. And so far, the big news for this day is coming out of New Zealand. So why are we hearing about an active shooter who's reported to be a white supremacist who just created a social media account in February and uploaded his manifesto? Why are we hearing about this on the Ides of March? Okay. So today, March 15th, 19, which is what it is in New Zealand right now. For us in the United States, it's still March 14th. The Ides of March has date numerology of 37. The gematria of shooting is 37. Again, worldwide. This code is used to contrive propaganda for agenda. It's about keeping the people of the world in fear, enslaved, trusting Big Brother, giving up their liberties. This is a worldwide agenda. And this agenda is waged every single day by this code of letters and numbers. The fact that the Ides of March is the 74th day of the year is what's most important. Active shooter also sums to 74. We see this number coded again and again in these shootings. Other things summing to 74 that are related. Killing, 74. They're saying many people have been shot. For the record, English and gematria sum to 74. Gematria is this practice of coding numbers into words. Comes from Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. It's related to the tarot. Tarot 74. This code is very much Masonic. World governments controlled by Masonry, which means police are controlled by Masonry. It's why all of these agendas are executed by this code. This is who's practicing this knowledge. Masonry is based in Kabbalah. This knowledge comes from the Jewish mysticism that is Kabbalah. Letters, numbers, dates in the calendar year. And of course, this knowledge is occult, meaning it's hidden, meaning hardly anyone knows about it. And I'm pretty sure if I hadn't come along in 2013 and figured this out, no one in the world would be talking about this. It's nice that some other people have picked up the torch and helped spread this work, but still not enough people are. And month after month, the same patterns persist. Now, this is a shooting of a mosque in Christchurch. And if you look up the origins of the name Christchurch, it says that no one really knows the origins. But obviously, the origins are somewhat religious. Christchurch. So, of course, in gematria, Jesus Christ sums to 74. So does Jesus, so does Messiah, so does cross, so does gospel, so does parables. Think about it. The Jewish practice is to write the name God G-D, G-D, because it's said to be rude to write out God's name. So you leave out the O, G-D. G's the seventh letter, D's the fourth. 7-4, 7-4. In Hebrew, the word Elohim sums to 47. Hebrew, you read from right to left, so 4-7, 7-4. Reflections of each other. But here we are on the 74th day of the year, and essentially what's going on is the New World Order again playing God over the masses. And if you've ever read the Bible, the God of the Old Testament, it's a God that does a lot of killing. So, in Christchurch, Muslims are being targeted. As a reminder, the name Muhammad also sums to 74. Many years ago, I predicted that Muhammad Ali would die at age 74. And he did die at 74. In case you forget what day Muhammad Ali died, it was June 3rd, 2016. They say the Prophet Muhammad died at age 63. And the gematria of the name of today's shooter also sums to 63. I do not think that's an accident. Again, they're trying to keep the people of the world divided. in recent times, we've had a synagogue shooting. We've had, on December 11th, a church shooting in Brazil and a Christmas market shooting in France. And now the latest, this mosque shooting. And of course, we've seen things in the past, but just in the last few months, you know, some international headlines, killing at religious centers. And to go back to September 11th, which was an event that largely took place on the 74th meridian in New York City, on the Coptic New Year, September 11th, that was another event that's divided the people of this world amongst religion. So anyway, Muslims targeted in Christchurch. This man, Matthew Keys, has posted this information. He says this is the social media website of the attacker. The social media website was set up just last month in February, which is curious. So we see a lot in these government manufactured shootings, brand new social media pages. And he does say that the name of the shooter is Brenton Tarrant, which sums to 63, like how the Prophet Muhammad died at age 63. They also say that he's a white supremacist, which fits into our 74 theme, this shooting on the 74th day of the year. So all these dates, of course, are from Western media. It's not March 15th yet, but in Christchurch, New Zealand, it is March 15th. So some other things that stand out here. From the day of the Brazil church attack and the day of the France marketplace attack, it's 94 days later. Terror equals 94. And in Australia, not too far from New Zealand, they recently had a terrorist incident. And I talked about how it was very similar to a terrorist incident they had had there in years past. And those two incidents were exactly 94 weeks apart. January 20th, 2017, and then the more recent incident, November 9th, 2018, exactly 94 weeks apart. Terrorist incident 94, terror 94. And if I remember right, the headlines that day, just right here, The Guardian emphasizing terror, The Guardian also emphasizing terrorist incident. Anytime the media emphasizes a set of words, there's always gematria behind it that's relevant. And what the articles were about was how similar these two incidents were, that were exactly 94 weeks apart. So from the, again, Brazil church attack and the Paris, or it was France, it might not have been Paris, but the Christmas market attack today, 94 days later, and also from the synagogue shooting to today, or this incident, 139 days. Big number with Freemasonry. And in light of this coming on the Ides of March, Julius Caesar, 139. They say Julius Caesar and the Jews had a very powerful relationship once upon a time. And again, March 15th, the Ides of March, to remember the killing of Caesar by the Senate. And something that's always stood out about this to me is that they say Julius Caesar was killed in 44 BC. I find that to be a real interesting number because, of course, kill is 44. So is shooting. So is execution. Ides of March also has the gematria of 101, like assassin. Ides of March also has the gematria of 61, also like assassin, also like active shooter. So this is what we said back in October. Remember the Ides of March this year. Last year's big scares in the United States with the bombs were pointing to the Ides of March. And who knows, we might get something yet in the United States tomorrow when March 15th hits here. But this is a new world order agenda, just like we saw yesterday in Brazil with the school shooting on the anniversary of the Dune Blaine massacre. They said those two teenagers who did the shooting yesterday, or two young men, were inspired by the Columbine shooters. And we showed the parallels between the Dune Blaine massacre, Columbine, and this happening, the latest. in Brazil. So, and we'd already talked about this pattern many times before. But again, yesterday, anniversary of the Dune Blaine massacre, you get a mass shooting at a high school. They said the shooter's inspired by events in years past. Columbine High School, 612. Dune Blaine massacre, 612. The latest event in Brazil, 612. And this is a pattern that we track in a lot of these shootings. Again, we saw the Pulse nightclub shooting on June 12th in Florida, 612. Orlando Strong, the motto, equaled 612. Then 612 days later, there was the Stoneman Douglas shooting on Valentine's Day. Valentine equals 612. And then 6 months and 12 days later, there was another shooting in Florida in Jacksonville at a video game tournament. And of course, there's been other examples too. The 612 theme. So just understand, you learn the code, you see the riddles, you see the patterns they lay down. 74, one of the most common patterns of all. The first video I ever uploaded said, remember the number 74. This is such a signature number. So much wrongdoing in this world is executed around this number. And here's just the latest. So I'm sure they'll end up putting out a lot more information about the shooter. We'll see if this is the correct name. Sometimes they put out the name of a shooter and then they change his name later. They change the spelling. But whenever they come out with more details, I'll do a follow-up post. Just the people of the world need to know. These are world governments executing these things. They find their perfect patsies, their perfect MK Ultra projects. Sometimes it's the police themselves. You know, 2 years ago, the London Bridge attack. A lot of YouTube truth channels got taken down, including mine, for posting the video footage of the police officers who were caught red-handed, changing from their uniforms to the terrorist costumes and posing in the street. You know, YouTube took down a lot of truth channels over exposing that information. And here I am on my 18th channel now. Can hardly even get a view despite 50,000 subscribers. So for those of you who are out there, what you can do to help this content reach more people is hit the like and also post this on social media. Share it on your social media page. Let me see. I'll take this call real quick just in case it's somebody for... Hey, are you calling in about the shooting? Hello? Caller? Well, I don't know. I couldn't hear him. But anyway, you can help spread this content by, again, sharing it. Post it on your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever. More people have to find this work. And anyone who comes across this work and thinks it's crazy, they won't the next time an incident happens, because they'll see it's the same pattern and it's the same pattern again. Let's see. Caller?
Hey, Zach, just want to let you know, I was watching golf today. The Island Green at the TPC Sawgrass was 121 yards.
Sorry, it was broken up. What was that again?
The Island Green, the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass, the golf. Today's the first day of the tournament. The Players Championship was 121 yards.
Okay.
Still at the 121 with the shooting.
All right. I'm doing a live stream right now for the shooting. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying the 121 popped up, and I was like, yeah, that was the yardage of the 17th green. So yeah, continue on next one. Let's pop that in there.
Okay, thanks, man. And when you explain this information, I mean, explain it clearly. I don't even know what that caller's talking about. I mean, if you're going to make a point, like if you explain this knowledge like that, people are going to look at you funny. The first hole is 121 yards. What's your point? You know, I don't even know what he's talking about, and I teach this knowledge. So anyway, be clear. Just show the concise patterns. 74. I mean, what was I just talking about days ago? The death of the actor who played Hitler, 74 days from the 74-year anniversary of the death of the Hitler. And how many times have I talked about 74 sins? It's just the same number again and again in these rituals. Also, be sure to check out those songs, Gematria, the Killing Name, and Murder by Numbers, because that's how the world elite operate. And before I go, let me just see. Okay, we're still on. We have hardly anybody watching. What else is new? It's funny, when I first started this YouTube channel, the 18th channel, and it didn't have that many subscribers, and I finally got a computer that could live stream. When I was doing the live streams back in this summer, and there was only like 5,000 subscribers back on this channel, the watching now, when I would do a live stream, was like over 500. Now I'm at 50,000, and it's hard to get more than 200 people here. The guy that talks says he has a video of the shooting. So I've heard that video's out there. I saw somebody saying that the shooting footage is out there and it looks like a video game. It's from a first-person perspective. Supposedly the guy uploaded it to social media. So all right, you guys, we'll leave it here.